Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I am playing in a new collaboration between Theresa from Theresa is Dead and Lethal Cosmetics. This was sent to me in PR, and yes, I am friends with Theresa. So hey Theresa, if you're watching this, I don't know if you're watching this, but I love you so much. I have all three of the gel liners, if you see those there, and then the Lethal is Dead palette. I am going to be showing you guys how I created this very colorful look. I didn't know what I was going to do. I initially thought I was going to be using just like one section and then just kind of putting a little pops of color, and I just kind of went all in. I ended up using every shade in here and all three of the gel liners. I don't know, it was just one of those days where I got to play, and this is what happened. I'm not mad at it. However, if this is a little too much for you, need not worry. I can definitely do another video where I put a few tutorials into one video, because this is currently sold out, but it is going to be back again. Right now you can pre-order it, and I believe it's going to be shipped around August 30th. All of that information is on a Lethal Cosmetics website, so I will leave that in the description box. Now I'm going to get into the swatches and show you guys the actual palette, and then we'll get into the look. Starting off with the Lethal is Dead pressed powder palette, and then this is the actual palette. This is just the sleeve right here, which I love because it'll keep this nice and pretty. I absolutely love the whole aesthetic of this. It gives me the feels. Inside, I love this, it reads, "Don't look behind you." I love this. And then these are the shades. They are so much fun. I really thought that I was gonna go here, here, and then here, and maybe add like a touch of this, but then it ended up where I was getting into it, and I'm not mad about it. This palette retails for $37, and here are the swatches. We have Straight to VHS, The Final Girl, Spellbound, Watery Grave, Body Snatched, Ancient Evil, Predator, Creature Feature, and Vengeful Spirit. All right, let's look at the three different gel liners. Entity, this is a matte gray. Spectre, a matte navy blue. And Ectoplasm, this is a chartreuse matte. Each of these retail for $15.50. However, you can save 10% and get the entire bundle for $41.85. All right, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this very colorful eye look. I'm starting off with the Bristles Beauty EO2 RL and the shade Vengeful Spirit. I am first just kind of going to stamp this on my outer corner of my lid, almost half of the lid, I would say. Start working it into the crease, just little stamping motions. And then I'm softly going to blend upwards, but I don't want this to go too far up. I'm going to try, we'll see what happens. You guys know I tend to go up a little higher. I'm going to try to keep this a little lower than what I traditionally do. I'm going to be going back and forth on each eye just to make sure that as I blend, that the shape and everything is at least similar. I knew that with me just playing with this eye look that I needed to do them both at the same time instead of doing one and then you come back and doing the other. It's like, I'm gonna mess this up. I'm gonna start slightly working this up just a little bit higher and towards the middle of my crease. REPHR number 2. Now I'm going in with the shade The Final Girl. I'm going to place this on the center of the lid and then slightly up into the crease. Look at that. I mean, the pigmentation is amazing. Lightly overlapping the last shade. Spellbound on a REPHR 21. Placing this on the inner corner. Oh, this is so pretty. I'm layering it over the last shade. I'm dragging this up into the crease area right up here, kind of connecting. I'm going to go back in with that middle shade and kind of blend these together. Back in with the REPHR 2 and The Final Girl. I'm applying that directly to the center, just kind of overlapping both of the shades so that I can kind of make a nice gradient. REPHR 14, Watery Grave. I've got to be super careful with this. I figured it would be pigmented. I'm going to go right around the edge of the outside corner. Back in with Vengeful Spirit on an EO2RL, Bristles Beauty. Just kind of want to redefine this outer corner. Clean, REPHR 21. Now I'm going to go in with Ancient Evil. Just a tiny bit of this right up my brow arch. Blending that in and kind of subtly going over the Watery Grave. That shade anyway. The next shade I'm going to use is Predator on a Nakia Joy EO6. This is going to help tie in the purpley and the blue shades and add a little depth to the outer corner. Just down here. Now I'm not taking this upward. I want to keep this very low, just on my lid. REPHR number 23, going in with Spectre, which is the liner. I'm applying this right at the top lash line. REPHR number 3, an Entity. Again, this is one of the cream or gel liners. I'm buffing this all along the lower lash line. These things do not move. I have some, and I mean, they don't budge, which is amazing, especially if you're going to be putting them right down here like I am. GOSS number 7. I just want to buff out the edge of that. I don't want it to be too harsh. Next up, Body Snatched on a Lunar Beauty E7. We're going to try and incorporate this green. This is like color with a pop of color. Next up, Ectoplasm on a REPHR 21. Alright, I'm going to try and be very careful and go in between. Bring it upward and out. Going back in with the Lunar Beauty E7, I'm taking the shade Straight to VHS, and I'm going to use this to kind of highlight this green on the inner corner. I love this shade. Oh my, look at that shine. I'm just like, oh yes, give it to me. Predator on a REPHR number 3. I am going to put this right up against my lower lashes. Esom T9, I'm taking the shade Creature Feature and applying this to the lower waterline. You do not have to do this if you do not want to. I just really wanted to use this shade. You could go in with one of the liners, the gel liners if you wanted to, or just skip it all together. After I apply this, I'm going to add inner rim liner on my top and mascara, and I will be done. As I mentioned, I finished off the look with liner on my top inner rim. I don't even remember, like I'm so used to saying Milk Boss liner that I forget to say this one. I have been using the Patrick Ta Precision Gel Liner in black. And this is like a satin. It goes on really, really easy to the top inner rim and it lasts all day. And then just mascara. For my thoughts, I gotta start off with the liners. These things do not move. I mean, they don't move. As I mentioned, I have some already. And actually, I think, yeah, they were sent to me by Theresa when we did our box swap. And I was impressed then, and I'm still impressed now. These are pigmented, they don't move, and they are amazing. Okay, these two shades are my favorite. This one, the blue Spectre, definitely is like the black liner for the palette. It is the one that you're going to use no matter what. It's going to be a grounding shade for pretty much anything you do with this palette. And then these are like the fun ones. And I just love them. I love them together. This gray, it's hard to find gray and it's hard to find chartreuse that actually have a good pigment to them and blend out really nicely. The formula of these are great. Now there is this little doodad in there. I suggest leaving this on because you want to make sure that you have as much of an airtight seal as you possibly can to prevent things from, you know, drying out. For the palette, Clearly, I love the design and I love the shades that she chose. I mean, this is just, it's so pretty. These colors are gorgeous. You can wear just the palette, or it can be a companion palette to something else where you just want to have a really nice pop of color that's actually going to be pigmented. I didn't have issues with any of these producing pigmentation. And you saw this shade right here, which can be tricky. This is a shade that it can be patchy, it can be a pain to work with, and that's the first shade I went in with, and you could see it was just so easy to use. Even this dark blue, everything. I love the way that these perform. This shade right here, I have a special little place in my heart for. This one's my favorite in the entire palette, and then this shade right here. I want to do a look where I basically use this, what is it called, Creature Feature smoky eye, and then just have this right on the inner corner and then the brow bone, and maybe use my bronzer as just like the transition and just call it a day. Oh, it would be so gorgeous. I had very little fallout, nothing that adhered to my skin, which is nice, and they all performed beautifully. So I have nothing negative to say about this. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It is. It truly, truly is. Theresa, a big old round of applause. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you like this look. I know it's not going to be for everybody, but I wanted to play today. And also let me know if you'd like to see another video where I do several different looks. I just wanted to play today, but I can definitely do that if you guys would like to see it. And again, congratulations, Theresa, and thank you so much for sending it my way. And thank you to Lehtal Cosmetics as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.